ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਭਾਈ ਨੰਦ ਲਾਲ ਜੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਰਾਈਟ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾ 52 ਕਵੀਆਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸੀ। ਸੋ ਕਵੀ is a poet, a person that actually, you know, sits in the darbar and their job is just to write. Like we have writers now, so they were a poet. Like how many of you guys know like Tupac and those rappers, right?
Yes.
But our Guru Sahib Ji's rappers were, Hanji? Our Guru Sahib Ji's rappers were Bhai Nand Lal Ji and those type of kavis, right? And Guru Sahib used to really pay them really well. So how many of you seen how big shields are?
No.
They're like this big, right? Not Spartan style, but like normal style. So normal style shields, Guru Sahib Ji would fill them up with gold coins to the top, and whenever he liked someone's poem or likes how someone did something, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ paid kar dende hunde si, one whole shield full of gold. Every single time they did a good poem, right? So last time we talked about how Guru Sahib Ji was really good scholar, really good writer. They ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ piche na ho jao so that there's space for people to comment for them to see, because this is a really good PowerPoint. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so last time we talked about Bhai Nand Lal Ji and how Guru Gobind Singh Ji was really smart, and they knew a lot of stuff about different languages. So main tanu kya si Bhai Nand Lal Ji nu other languages honde si, right? So to be able to read Bhai Nand Lal Ji's work, did Guru Gobind Singh Ji have to know all those languages?
Yes.
So does that make Guru Gobind Singh Ji
Learn 64 languages.
Savage.
no 64 different types of talents?
Oh.
So
You went 17.
I don't know how many you learned, but maybe it's
We
possible.
learned the whole world languages.
So let's not get into that. So now we're going to go into a different part of Guru Gobind Singh Ji that we don't really know. So once upon a time, long time ago, in India, Guru Gobind Singh Ji there was, can you go next slide?
Oh yes.
There was this little hut,
Pizza Hut.
and this hut did not bake any type of pizza.
Oh.
Not pizza, not mayonnaise, and nothing. What happened was this, people that lived in this hut were a family of 3. Bibi, her dad, Bhai Deuji,
Oh, the 3
and his mom, right? No, not the 3 little pigs. So, all connected in this and they were generally okay, right? And so what happened was, in this hut, they lived in this hut on the property of a man by the name of Bhai Jaswant Rao. And this Bhai Jaswant Rao, which was a really rich man. He owned a big mansion and lots of property. He had a garden. And in the garden he probably had a maze. The garden he has all kinds of different types of fruits. Right? He had orange trees, peach trees. He had apple trees. He had peach trees. By the way, does anybody know? And mango trees. What is a peach tree in Punjabi? Peach tree in Punjabi. Hanji. No, not peach tree. Hanji.
Aloo Bukhara.
Aloo bukhara. No, that's not it. Aloo bukhara is a plum. Adu, very good. So they had all these different types of drakhtasi and in the garden, right? So next slide. What happened was, Bhai Deuji was the head gardener of Bhai Jaswant Rao's garden. So he taught all the other gardeners under him. So he knew everything about fertilizer, how to make trees grow, what roses liked, what they didn't like. He was really good at his job. He was really nice. He was a really good gurmukh. And he had a daughter by the name of Bibi, who was 10 to 11 years old, around some of you guys' ages. And this girl had fun growing up. Sara then, she would roam through the garden, sing to the trees, and played in the dirt, and her parents didn't even get mad at her for dirtying her clothes. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਰਨਾ। ਐਨ ਉਹ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਕਿਤੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿਤੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਹਨਾ ਆਪ ਬੂਟਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੇਖ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਪਰ never ever, this was a rule, she never ever ਕਿਤੇ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਬੂਟਾ ਪੱਟਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ. She never picked any fruit, she never picked any flower. ਹਾਂਜੀ.
What about weed?
Weeds, yes, but you have to pick out weeds. So she did pick out weeds, but a flower and a plant, she never picked them up. Right? Okay, if you don't pick out weeds, what happens? They take over and your plant doesn't grow. So she never ever harmed any flowers and she never harmed any plants or trees. So this Bibi had a really nice childhood growing up. But then one day, next, before we go to that one day, what happened was Pai Deoji was a really good Gurma, right? And how do we know that? Pai Deoji, with his own money that he earned from his job, okay, ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟਾ ਜਿਹਾ shed ਜਿਹਾ ਬਣਾ ਲਿਆ, right? Not without the fence, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ shed ਬਣਾ ਲਿਆ. And ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨਾ ਅਨੰਦਪੁਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ, right? ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ, they all knew that Pai Deoji had a place for them. So what they used to do is ਉੱਥੇ ਬਿਸਤਰੇ ਰੱਖੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ for them. They had food for them. If the sangat needed atta, the sangat needed dala, ਉਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਉੱਥੇ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ so that ਸੰਗਤ ਆਦਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਆਪੇ ਬਣਾ ਸਕੇ. And then they had a big stack of wood to ਵੀ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੋੜ ਪਵੇ ਠੰਡ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਅੱਗ ਵੀ ਬਾਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ whenever they were able to do finish their work as a gardener, they would go and massage the people's legs. They would do pakha to them when it was garmiya, give them blankets when it was cold. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ like a really good Gursikh, right? But Pai Jaswant Rao Ji, him who was the guy with the mansion, who Pai Deoji worked for, he was not a good man. So he was like, ਉਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਦਸਤਾਰ ਬੰਨੀ ਸੀ, he had a dastar, he would dress like a Sikh, and he called himself a Sikh. But he stopped, ਉਹਦੇ ਡੈਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ Pai Jaswant Rao Ji ਦੇ ਡੈਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀ, he was a really good Gursikh. And his Dada Ji was a good Gursikh. And what they used to do was they had this. They used to have all the Sangat used to be allowed into their house. You've seen that big mansion that Pai Jaswant Rao Ji had? They were allowed. But when it was Jaswant Rao's turn to take over, he stopped it. He's like, I'm in Muft vich lokan for each quite. That's not a way to make money. No more. So then, instead, Pai Deoji took over. He started doing Seva of Sangat, right? And Pai Deoji, Pai Jaswant Rao even started questioning Guruji. The rich man started saying that, oh, Guru Gobind Singh Ji doesn't know how to do politics. They're a little kid. All they had to do was become Musliman for a little bit. Then when Aurangzeb stopped bothering them, they could have converted back. See, I'm so smart. And he started thinking that Guru Gobind Singh Ji was just a little kid. So he stopped being a real Sikh. I mean, he would wear the dastar, he would wear the clothes, but he didn't act like a Sikh. He was really rude and mean and angry, and he thought he was a really smart man. He's like, I've read so many things, I've done so much stuff in my life, I'm way smarter than people think. And so, holi he started breaking away from Guru Sahib Ji. On the other hand, Pai Deoji, BP and his wife, they were all really good Gursikhs. They would do as much as they could to give people the ability to and they always had one of those 3 times a day when they woke up, or 2 times a day when they woke up. Amrit Vele, they Rara Sahib to Bach. Das karte hunde si, they would always ask for one thing. Guru Gobind Singh Ji sanu Amrit di das baksho. Because recently Guru Gobind Singh Ji had just ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਹਨਾ ਪਾਣ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ to take ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਪੋਹਲ, they just announced it, they ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਖੰਡੇ ਬਾਟੀ ਦੀ ਪੋਹਲ ਲੈਣੀ ਪੈਣੀ. Right? And they were like, ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਵਕਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਾਗਾ. They didn't have time to go there. So every single day they would do ardas ਕਿ हे ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ, हे Guru Maharaj, ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੰਡੇ ਬਾਟੇ ਦੀ ਦਾਤ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ. So next. So what happened? One day, you know, the father Pai Deoji saw that Bibi really, really loved taking care of plants. She really loved plants. So he said, all right, here's what I'll do. This plant is going to be all your own. You take care of it. I'm not going to help you. And I've taught you everything I could. How to water plants, godi kive karni hai, weeding, that's godi is weeding. And re kive pauni hai, that's putting fertilizer, how to take care of a plant. So this plant is yours. And you're going to take care of it all by yourself. So Bibi was so happy. She's like, yes, my own very plant. And guess what type of plant she got?
Peach tree. Cherry.
Pear.
She got Chakodre da Drakht.
What's that?
Exactly, you tell me. Okay, next slide.
Pear.
So what did Bibi grow? What's a Chakodre da Drakht? Any guesses?
Orange.
Kiwi.
Strawberry. Orange.
Galt.
Every fruit.
Galt.
Kiwi.
Galt.
Cherry.
Galt.
Bananas.
Strawberry. Guava. Coconuts.
Bananas.
Kiwi.
Okay, wait a minute. Why group?
Ananas.
Why group? Vaheguru. 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 Okay, so why aren't you using your dimaag? What's a banana in Punjabi?
Kela.
Did I say chakodra or did I say banana?
I said guava.
Okay, now all right, ਚਲੋ ਇਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਸਿੱਖਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਆ Okay, now be quiet. What I said was what we'll do is we'll go through all the different fruits in Punjabi and see which one ends up being a chakodra, okay? So what is an apple in Punjabi?
Same.
Is that a chakodra?
No.
Okay, banana?
Kela.
Okay, lemon?
Lembu.
Mango?
Amber.
Plum?
Badam.
Plum?
Oh, avocado.
Aloo bukhara? Peach? Adu? Good, grapes?
Angur.
Okay, let me think of a hard one.
Pears.
We put cherries.
Pistachios?
Besta.
Besta. Okay. What's a strawberry?
Strawberry.
It's a joke. Never mind. There's no such word for strawberry in Punjabi because it's
They
not.
just call it berry.
It's not. No, I created a word for it. From now on, a strawberry is called a tilbeer. Got it? Why? Because each strawberry has little small til on it, right? The little beads on it. So those beads in Punjabi are called til, and it's a berry. So you put it together and you get tilbeer. Okay, from now on, what's a strawberry? Good job. I'm just kidding. Okay, so Bibi grew a chagodra. A chagodra is next.
Coconuts.
It's a pomelo fruit.
Oh my god.
Okay, so
The grapefruit.
it's like a grapefruit. It's like a grapefruit.
Hey, this
On the outside, it's really huge,
Oh, we
and on the inside, it looks reddish. And it's kind of like oranges, but thoda ja khatta.
Red orange.
Okay, meri wari aur chup, right? So that's what she was growing, a chakodra, right? And so every single day she would spend time watering it. She would sing Gurbani to it and sit there day and night, just giving it company with please Ogja, right? And what happened was, next slide, she would fertilize it, you know, the different types so that it would grow. Then after that, what happened was, yeah, it's fine. What happened was the hot winds came. It's during the time when Mini Pinda, right? First it flowered, it grew bigger, right? And then it started to bud, right? And also bud, but then all the fall started, what she did was she started watering it and weeding it during that time. But if it's a citric fruit, meaning thoda ja khatta, lemon, santre, chakodre, all these types of citric trees in there, you're not supposed to water them during the time they're flowering. The few days they're flowering, you're not supposed to water them. So all the flowers fell off. And then if the flowers fall off, what does that mean?
No fruit.
Why not? Why no fruit?
It doesn't get any
They will
pollination.
get
Yes, there's gonna be no pollination because no bees are gonna come and pollinate it. So that's why she was like, why is there no fruit? Duje sare draktan de utte fruit uki jande a. And she's sitting there looking at a drakht like, I can't. No, she didn't do that. But she sat there and she waited and she waited. And her dad said, don't worry. Keiwari, what happens is after the hot season, some trees get reflowering. Some of them get another chance. And so she sat there and she sang Gurbani to and did a dasa. Hey Sache Pasha, Kirpa karo, please don't let my drakht die. And please make it that equally faithful Ogjan. And she said it so nicely and so she did a das every single day. And it came true. Her drakht got more flowers on it. Except the wind started coming, the monsoon winds. Right before the monsoon season. And Odina, the flowers started to fall out. And she's like, oh no, right? So what happened was she still did a das. But then, like a few full rege. And they were pollinated. And from those full, she got a few little fruits. But then birds came. And they started eating them and they fell off. So then now, Bibi only has, next slide, one chakodra on her whole tree of chakodri. And now she'd make sure she's with that chakodara day and night. She doesn't want to leave it to eat roti. She doesn't want to leave it to go to the bathroom. She just sits there watching it. Koi aake nu bother na kare. So whenever the birds come, she goes, shh. She's like the scarecrow guarding her pomelo fruit. And while she's taking care of it, she has this wish inside of her. She starts to think, wouldn't it be so great if I could take this fruit and give it to Guru Gobind Singh Ji? So she sits there taking care of it and thinking, Jado vada ho gaya, when it gets nice and big and juicy, I'm going to pick it. I'm going to wrap it up so that it doesn't get kharab. And then we're all going to go to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And then I'm going to go in front of Guru Gobind Singh Ji who's sitting on their takht. And I'm going to walk all there by myself and give it to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And then when Guru Gobind Singh Ji opens it and he smiles and he rips open the skin and he tastes it and he goes, I'm going to be so happy. So she imagines all of this, all of it, sitting there and hoping, Veena, ejada pomelo draft, this fruit, it survives. Right? Ejada fruit, it makes it. So then she starts to worry that ki hoga, the birds are going to eat it. So she's sitting there thinking, if I go away at night, the birds could eat it. And then I won't be able to take nothing to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And this is the only thing I worked on with my own hands. From the time it was a small little draft to the time it's so big now. So what she does is she takes a little white bag and she puts it over the every single night. And little by little, because of all the attention the small little fruit is getting, it starts going bigger and bigger and bigger. Because of all the love that Bibi is giving it. She talks to it like it's her baby. She sits there and she waters it. And I'll carry you the whole way. And we're going to be best friends. And she tells it stories and how it's going to be in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's court. She's going to see shit like, Maat dekho the na, Baba Deep Singh Ji bhi honge. And then utte Bhai Bachittar Singh Ji bhi honge. And then utte na Bhai Uday Singh Ji bhi honge. And then she says, oh, I want to meet Bibi Pikha Singh. I bet you she'll be there too. We'll talk about Bibi Pikha Singh later. But she says these great Gursikhs are going to be there. And we're both going to get to see Guru Sahib Ji's Prashadi Hathi. The Hathi that does Guru Sahib Ji's chore. The Hathi that runs and grabs Guru Sahib Ji's feet. The Hathi that washes Guru Sahib Ji's feet. The Hathi that can do so many different things, that has a white stripe on it, and no other person has ever had this type of Hathi ever. And then she's like, and we're going to be able to see the Chote Sahibzade, Baba Ajit Singh Ji and Baba Jujhar Singh Ji and the Vadde Sahibzade and the Chote Sahibzade, and we could play with them. And we can play tag, and then we can have Judy, and she's just imagining all these things she can do with when she goes to visit Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And she's telling all these things to the fruit, and the fruit's getting excited too because it just gets bigger and bigger. So then one day what happens is, when it's almost time to get it picked, and what even happens is, you know how they Roj aur Das karte hunde sige, right? That, oh, Hasina, Amrit, Sakram, you want to come to Anandpur Sahib and shak Amrit? The parents decided too, that after her fruit gets bigger, apna is summer, pakka jana hi jana Anandpur Sahib. So it was set. Everyone was ready to go and this was great. So what happened was, one day, Jaswant Rao and his nokar were walking in the garden. And they were walking and like, I don't know, Maliana Pai Deo, he's doing a very good job. Very good. I'm glad I hired him. I guess I'm not wasting my money on him. Shabash. And they're like, they're talking between each other and they can say, oh, Amandar bhi bota. He's really honest. He doesn't pick any fruit for himself. If he wants to buy any fruit, he pays you and then he takes it from your garden. What a good guy. And they're just talking and looking at the different plants. And then, by Jaswantara, see the big white sack on one of his trees. Oh, yeah. So they walk closer and closer and they take off the bag and they see that it does muna. And he's just like, oh, this gotta be mine. And so he's like, chal tod, to his nokar. And Bibi hears this. She runs over, is like, Nay, stop! Next. It's like, stop! Nay, Veere, ruko! And he just looks at her like, who is she to tell me? First she thinks like, chal choti ji kudiya, maybe I should leave it, right? But she's like, who is she to tell me this? This is my own garden. I can't pick stuff in my own garden. Shut up, girl. And she sees that. She's like, no, This is her expression when she sees he's about to take all her regime. She thinks that no more Sahibzade, no more Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Like, no! Right? But he's like, move away. And he orders his nokar. And the nokar's looking like, but look at her face, it's so cute, we can't do this. And he's waiting, he's like, if you want your job, you better pick it. And she's just like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. In her eyes, she's so scared because she can't do anything about it. So then, next one. He pulls it off. He listens to it and plucks off and takes Bibi's fruit. And when she sees it, right before he's about to pluck it, she screams out, Hai! Na tod veere! And then, press next, she falls. And she goes next slide, she's unconscious. She felt so hurt because all of her dreams of being with Guru Gobind Singh Ji and the love she put into that fruit are no longer going to be true anymore. All far that she had kept for Guru Gobind Singh Ji, it's gone. Next slide. And so what happened was, actually go back, we don't want to go there. So what happened was, Bibi lays there, and her dad, they know that Bibi never is gonna come and eat the prasada because she's sitting there and guarding her fruit. So they think that, chalo, I'll go and then we'll switch spots with her and only roti jaake kha lange. So her dad is eating the roti and he just finished eating roti, and they hear Bibi's not unconscious. Something happened to her. She's not moving. She's just laying there. And we try to move her and her hands and her feet are starting to go cold. And when her parents heard this, because they knew that whatever Guru Sahib Ji does is fine. But they rushed to go get Bibi and they bring her home. And Bibi is doing, but she won't wake up. And they try to shake her awake and her legs and feet are starting to go cold. So her father and her mother starts to rub her hands to bring warmth into them, rub her feet. And every few moments from her mouth comes, Hai! Na tod veere! Every few moments. And even her parents who are so takade in their Sikhi, even they feel hurt inside their heart. They're saying, what happened to her that caused her to become so hurt that she's almost on the verge of dying? That she's not waking up and she's so unconscious, her hands and feet are starting to become cold. That she received such a trauma to her head. She put, and it might seem like a small thing to us, but only almost a year she put into trying to take care of this plant. Many months went into planting the tree, making sure it grew, and watching the plant. Because remember that one point that she didn't even know if she was going to get a plant. She didn't even know if she was going to get a fruit. Out of all the chances she had, she only got this one fruit. And so then on the other hand, when she said this, the nokar that actually butted the fruit, he gave it to Jaswant Singh and he said, I quit. You made me hurt a little girl of that man, and how am I going to ever go back and apologize to him? He does seva of everyone, and he's never done anything wrong to me. All he did ever for me, by Devuji, all he ever did was show me kindness. And then I turned back around and stabbed him in the back by hurting his girl. It was just a stupid fruit. All I had to do was leave it for her. And just because of my job, I abandoned my faith. I quit. And he said, Jo main that's unforgivable. He runs away. And he goes to Pai Devuji and he apologizes, saying, Main bahut vadi galti kiti. I'm sorry. If you could forgive me, please forgive me. And Pai Devuji said, it's not your fault. You needed to keep your job. So it's okay. It was, Bibi needed to realize that what fruit she put all of her hopes and thoughts in, it wasn't hers. If you want to give something to Guru Sahib Ji, Pai Devuji said, she should have done something that was her own. But she put faith into the fact that she grew the plant, that this whole tree, this whole land belongs to Rao Jaswant Singh. And when she wakes up, I'm going to try to teach her that. And when he saw that, when the servant saw that, he was so amazed. He said, instead of getting mad, because what type of evil person doesn't give a small child what the child wants? He said, instead of getting mad, all he did was instead take the blame on himself and his daughter for not teaching her the right thing. What he thought was the right thing. He just says, I'm sorry and thank you for forgiving me, and he leaves the job. Next, Jaswant Rao is sitting. and he's trying to eat food, he's trying to have a conversation, but in his ears he keeps hearing the scream, and then, no, go back. He keeps hearing the scream, and Bibi falling. Again and again. It's like a replay again and again in his head. And his wife comes in, the servants come in with kush khalo, and he's like, no, no, no. So that night he lays down. And his wife is a really good Gursikh. Unhone de maa pyo ne oda vyah kita si because they thought, you know, Gursikh ha, but they didn't know that he was an atheist inside. He had no faith in Guru Sahib Ji anymore. So ki kita, she would do Nitnem every single day, and she would do ardas to Guru Sahib Ji that Guru Sahib Ji, please bring my husband closer to you again. So then when she heard about what happened this night, she did ardas really, really, really from the heart. Tears were just coming down her eyes. She's thinking, what have I done to deserve such a man that hurt such good people's daughters? But she said, I will not lose hope. So she goes and talks to her husband. And he says, I don't know what I did. It's my garden, and if I can't even choose my own fruits to eat, then what does that make me? Why should I have listened to her? He's like, yes, it's true that it's your garden. But a person who doesn't give into the desires of a child, especially a child like Bibi, who's so pure, who's never lied in her life, it's wrong. He's like, if it was up to me, and if every single child came in the world that was like Bibi, I would give her the whole garden. The ones that always think about others before themselves. And look at the way she took care of that plant. And it wasn't even for herself. It was for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And while they were talking about this, Jaswant Rao fell asleep. And what he dreamed was that the whole world was divided up into the Chinese people were different flowers, the Indian people were different flowers, next. And everyone was in, different flowers in the garden. The whole world was a garden. And in that garden, there were different people. Maybe these could be the Chinese people, these could be the black people, these could be the red and the white, these could be the white people. Whatever. Every people from different country was a different flower. And what was happening was those people were screaming, Hai Nator! Hai Nator! Because, next slide, there was these people going around cutting off and pulling off the fruits and the leaves and the petals of those people. Next slide. So what happens was, what they would do was they would go on, cut off, next again, and they would cut off and there would be blood squirting everywhere. They would cut off the heads, pull off the petals, and take off the fruit. And every single time they did this, they would scream, Hai Nator, Hai Nator. This was happening worldwide, especially in the India area where the Mughals were doing, where the Mughals and all those people, where the Hindus were living. So what happened was, there was rivers and rivers of blood flowing. Next slide. So they were saying, Hai Nator. And next slide. But then, from the east rose a light. And wherever, there was clouds and darkness everywhere. And wherever the light hit, those people that were killing others, that were cutting the leaves, they started to become either flowers themselves, or they either became the protectors of those flowers, or they were killed. Whenever this light came, and the light, after the light bathed them, it said, Main thonu rakh liya. And wherever the light would hit, the cry of Hai Nator would end. And he woke up, and he asked his wife, what do you think the meaning of this dream was? And he explained the whole thing. And she said, can't you imagine? Can't you guess? He said, that light that you've turned your face from is Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Those people that were cutting down the flowers were Mughals and people that only cared about themselves. All over the world there were people that just care about themselves. And he realized, all my life I think Guru Gobind Singh Ji is being dumb for not protecting his Sahibzade, for not protecting his Raj. I thought I was smarter than Guru Sahib Ji because I had a better strategy. But it's only Guru Gobind Singh Ji who's fighting against him, who's protecting people. I was the dumb one. I'm stupid. I had Hankar inside of me. And so he said, we must go to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The next morning, he takes that chakodre da phal. He runs to Bibi's house and he goes to Pai Deo Ji and he said, Bibi kithiya, Bibi kithiya. And he brings them forward. And he said, here, itera, please take it. But Bibi had gotten up. And his father and mother saying Gurbani to her. No one mentioned the chakodre da phal. And little by little, she started smiling again, talking again. And then her dad explained to her, sometimes we form attachments to things that are not ours. Does that make them ours? And she said no. Right? So just because I believe that thing is mine, and I worked for it, and I served for it, does that mean it's mine? She said no. And does that mean that I put all of my effort into that thing for someone else, and I'm trying to think it's mine? She said yes. And so he said, Omi chakodre da phal tera si? And she said no. It was not mine, it was Jaswantarau's. Like, if you had first purchased that tree from Jaswantarau and the land and the ability to water it on his land, then it would have been yours. But tu ain kita si? She said no. So ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਫਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਸਵੰਤ ਰਾਓ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਆ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ it belonged to ਜਸਵੰਤ ਰਾਓ, you gave it to him, would it actually count as something you gave? She said, I never thought of it that way. It's not mine. I didn't work for it. I didn't pay for it. So she said, I'm so sorry, Pitaji. I shouldn't have formed such an attachment to the fruit. It was my mistake. And he said, Chalo koi nahi. ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ, we're still going to go to Anandpur Sahib, and we'll still make Guru Sahib. So when Jaswant Rao came to give that father to Bibi, she said, Nahi ji, ye thoda. And he was so shocked. He's like, how could this girl so easily accept that this isn't her father anymore when she put all the effort into growing it? She said, it's because in the beginning, main thode to paise leke nahi liya. It's because it's not mine. It was your seed, it was your water, it was your plant, it was your land. It thoda phala. But he said, still, I don't want it. So the BBG takes it. And sare jane, next, they go to Anandpur Sahib. And with the whole Sangat, BBG holding the fruit, Pai Deoji, Pai Jaswant Rao and his wife, they all go to Anandpur Sahib. And right when that Sangat comes in, Guru Gobind Singh Ji gets up and he says, Meri beti kithe hai? Meri putri kithe hai? And everyone was like, wow, who is this beti, this bachi who gets to be called the daughter of Guru Gobind Singh Ji? Not everyone gets that title. Oh, sochde mein kyun milya hai? And so they're looking around because there were quite a lot of women and girls in the jatha. And they said, Bibi meri beti kithe hai? So everyone pushes Bibi forward. And Bibi ji goes and she says, Guru Sahib Ji, is sangat wala. And she puts the fruit in front. And instead, Guru Sahib Ji picks up Bibi Ji and puts her in his lap and hugs her tightly. Really, really tightly. He said, Meri putri, I'm so proud of you. Everyone looks at Bibi Ji and says, wow, such a young girl, how did she manage to get the love of Guru Gobind Singh Ji like none of us did? Not very many people get called the daughter of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And so, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ, including Bibi, they all shucked Amrit from Guru Gobind Singh Ji when they met. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕਾਓ, it came true. And from that day on, Bibi was known as Guru Di Putri, the daughter of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Now the question is, how many of us are going to get that title? How many of us will be considered the daughter or the son of Guru Gobind Singh Ji? The love, and that has nothing to do with the way we dress. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just simple love that Bibi had for Guruji. What she would do for her Guruji. She spent 6-7 months apne Guru Gobind Singh Ji vaste phal di tekir karna. That much dedication. So, this is another aspect of Guru Gobind Singh Ji. One was that aspect that was really smart and knew about a lot of languages and knew a lot of nice poetry. But the real part, the part that everyone loved, was the part where Guru Gobind Singh Ji loved his Sikhs. The part where Guru Gobind Singh Ji called people his daughters. The part where Guru Sahib Ji hugged